Coming up on AgweekTV, U.S. Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue talks farm policy and addresses the renewable fuels standard at the annual Commodity Classic in Anaheim.
I'm Michelle Rook here in Mexico following the international marketing trail for U.S. soybeans.
In Minnesota, they're looking at how to raise strong crops while protecting the environment.
Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Rose Dunn. Major agricultural organizations sent a letter to President Trump this week calling for him to maintain the integrity of the renewable fuels standard, especially during this time of declining net farm income. It was in response to claims by an East Coast refinery that the RFS is to blame for their bankruptcy. U.S. Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue also addressed the RFS at this week's Commodity Classic. Spencer Chase was at the nation's largest ag show and has more from Anaheim.
For years, producers have flocked to the Commodity Classic to hear about new products, changing companies, and gain insights from some of the most trusted experts in agriculture. But this year, members of the National Corn Growers Association, American Soybean Association, National Association of Wheat Growers, National Sorghum Producers, and the Association of Equipment Manufacturers also wanted to hear from Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue, who was addressing the show for the first time as Secretary. That interest was only heightened after reports surfaced that Perdue was pushing changes that many in attendance thought would undermine the renewable fuel standard.
But when Perdue made it to Anaheim to speak to attendees of the Commodity Classic, he said those reports did not accurately convey the way he feels about the RFS.
My support of the RFS has been unequivocal. I don't know how I can state it any more clearly. The fact that I will not support any policies that reduce the demand for ethanol and biofuels less than where we have it currently. My goal is to grow it by eliminating the waiver on RVP, where we can build up a culture of 15% ethanol for the future.
For the most part, Perdue's comments of support were well received.
We were pretty happy with the Secretary Perdue's talk this morning. He said he was steadfastly behind making any changes to the RFS policy-wise, but he did not mention RINs, Renewable Identification Numbers, and we're still concerned about that.
RINs are credits used to measure compliance with the RFS. Skunis says NCGA is concerned that Perdue doesn't grasp their opinion that RINs are important to corn farmers.
The USDA and Secretary Perdue doesn't quite understand, and I'm not going to say that in a bad way because I know he's a smart man. He just doesn't see our point of view on what was intended.
For his part, Perdue says he's willing to listen to other opinions.
I think some people have confused RIN prices with demand. I don't see it that way, and I'm an open book about being educated on that, but I fail to understand how the collaboration or the connection between RIN prices and demand and RVO volume may work together, but that may be part of the confusion.
Any attempt to countermand any part of that, as in capping the price of RINs, would be disastrous for the ethanol industry, which would be disastrous for the corn industry, bad for agriculture as a whole.
Reporting from Anaheim, California, I'm Spencer Chase.
After widespread drift damage last season, dicamba training sessions have become prevalent around the region. And despite the widespread damage in 2017, it seems inevitable that numbers of dicamba beans will increase this year. Now, some are wondering if that wasn't the plan all along by the creators of dicamba. Monsanto, BASF, and DuPont came out with dicamba-resistant beans last year, and much of the resulting drift damage recovered by harvest time. But the situation led to label changes for dicamba application. After talking to farmers around the region, NDSU Extension's David Ripplinger says there will be a significant increase in dicamba-resistant beans this year. He says much of that increase is a defensive measure by farmers to protect themselves against potential drift. Ripplinger says it's possible this was the strategy all along.
What's happened now is we may see, extremely high levels of adoption of this variety, of these dicamba varieties that have this trait, and it's almost logical to think that this is a natural result of introducing this technology, where the easiest risk management for non-dicamba producers initially is just to adopt it and avoid that risk.
Monsanto responded by saying farmers tell them the reason they're buying the dicamba beans is because they produce the highest yields. With the U.S. in the midst of renegotiating NAFTA, the importance of the Mexican market has made headlines. A delegation of South Dakota farmers just returned from a trade mission to Mexico to solidify the relationship with their neighbor and customer. Michelle Rook traveled with the South Dakota Soybean See for Yourself tour.
60% of the U.S. soybean crop is exported, making markets like Mexico critical for U.S. farmers. South Dakota farmers on the See for Yourself tour saw that at the Yucatan Peninsula's Puerto Progreso. It's small but efficient, getting U.S. product in 2 days.
We import 2,050,000 tons of grains from the United States.
The largest port in Veracruz completes an expansion in 2019, allowing grain companies to handle Panamax ships and by 25% more than the 500,000 metric ton annual U.S. soybean volume.
For our terminal, we are focused on having 90% of our raw materials out of the U.S.
Soybean processors also buy from the U.S. as Mexican farmers can't grow enough beans.
It's 70% right now, and we have locally 30%.
The growing livestock and poultry industry in Mexico is also increasing demand for U.S. oilseeds and feed grains. Creo produces 14 million broilers and 1.5 billion eggs a year. They have one of the largest poultry feed mills in the country and source U.S. meal.
85,000.
They buy per year 85,000 metric tons of soybeans from the U.S.
South Dakota farmers built on their relationship with those customers on the See for Yourself tour.
It's an opportunity to meet the buyers of our soybeans, the soybean meal, and the soybeans that they are using in their production for livestock or even vegetable uses and vegetable oils.
In Mexico, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
Coming up on AgweekTV, opioid addiction is a quickly growing problem in rural areas. We'll see what Senator Heitkamp is doing to fight it.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
I'm 120, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212 right here, now having time's up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Get your row crops off to the right start with an Early Riser Case IH planter from Titan Machinery. Case IH Early Riser planters feature high-tech yet rugged planter row units that quickly adapt to the toughest seeding conditions, while leaving an optimal seed bed to promote early, uniform plant emergence. Only Case IH Early Riser planters are designed to leave a flat-bottom seed furrow, ensuring consistent seed depth and even emergence. Contact your local Titan Machinery location today for more information on the next generation of planting technology from Case IH.
Rural communities have unique needs and problems when it comes to opioid addiction. That was the message from North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp as she held a series of events across the state focusing on the problem. Heitkamp says towns of all sizes need to have plans in place for combating addiction if they want federal money to fight the epidemic. But rural areas have unique problems like transportation and access to care, isolation, and the stigma of everyone knowing you have a problem. But Senator Heitkamp says small towns are also known for working together to solve a problem.
Let's all solve this problem together. Let's get resources to the community to tackle this problem. Let's make sure that people who really truly need this as pain medication actually have it. But we also want to make sure that we're being fiscally smart about how we spend this money. How you're going to solve this problem is community, evidence-based evaluation and interventions.
Senator Heitkamp says North Dakota has one of the nation's highest rates of increase in opioid-related deaths. She has proposed a bill that would put a small tax on prescription opioids to fund community grants. Excess nitrogen runoff is a big issue in farm states. Efforts are being made to lower nitrogen levels in the water, but it promises to be costly with little direct benefit to farmers. Experts tackled the problem at the 4th annual event called Nitrogen, Minnesota's Grand Challenge and Compelling Opportunity Conference in St. Cloud. Mikkel Pates was there and takes a look at what's being done.
An annual nitrogen conference in St. Cloud talked about how to put fertilizer into crops and keep it out of our water.
There may not be any direct economic benefit to the farmer. It's really unlikely there would be. But there is societal benefit in cleaner water.
Several Mississippi River drainage states are working to reduce nitrogen in water by 45% by 2045. It's an ambitious goal, but those involved in nitrogen reduction say large-scale change is needed.
Agriculture needs to step up to the plate and to try to do better. That's our goal all the time. And quite honestly, if people are putting on far too much nitrogen, they should cut it out. And we need to give them good, solid reasons as to why they can reduce their nitrogen rate.
Matt Helmers is a professor at Iowa State University and provides data for the Iowa Nutrient Reduction Program. He says it could make ag more diverse.
We might see some more buffers, and maybe we prioritize putting in native prairie type buffers. We'd have wetlands out there that provide nitrate removal, but also provide some waterfowl and wildlife habitat, maybe some aesthetic value.
Experts say planting cover crops could also be very effective in reducing nitrogen.
If you can get the benefits of the cover crop in terms of soil erosion, but also maybe to keep the nitrates down to a certain level in terms of their use in the cover crops, that's probably been a bigger theme than the movement of nitrogen within the corn plant itself.
Fabian Fernandez is a nitrogen management expert at the University of Minnesota. He says timing is everything when it comes to nitrogen application and water quality. Farmers can minimize applications in April, May, and early June when up to 75% of the nitrogen loss occurs.
When we talk about nitrogen loss, obviously we are concerned about the environmental quality, but also any nitrogen that we apply that is not used by the crop is an investment that is a loss on the investment.
It's changed the way people are draining the land. It's the way changing the way that they fertilize the land, so there's positives out of that too.
We all need to eat. The question is how to grow crops and keep the environment sound. For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates in St. Cloud.
About 130 scientists, regulators, and ag professionals gathered for the event hosted by the University of Minnesota Extension Service. Temperatures are slowly inching up. Your agri-weather forecast is next. And later, how the potato industry is spreading the word about how good their product is for you.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Levosol is the most advanced nutrient efficiency solution, making phosphorus, zinc, and other key micronutrients more available to the plant. With 3 modes of action, it unlocks the nutrients in the soil. It makes the nutrients that it's applied with more available. And it is mobile in the plant for season-long activity. For more information, talk with your agronomy partner or visit wcdst.com.
Dream of building a new home, garage, shop, barn, or commercial space? What if you could create your ideal building for less than you ever imagined? Want to build a cabin in the woods, a workshop, storage space? Then call your Hanson personal building designer now, and we'll include professionally engineered, sealed plans to your new building absolutely free. Save up to thousands of dollars. Build your ideal dream for less than you ever imagined. Call now.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
American Farm Equipment offers you the most effective, reliable, and simple-to-run grain dryers. Deluxe grain dryers with Moisture Link Plus G2 control panels give you the most accurate moisture and temperature readings, making it easy for you. You can monitor remotely with your cell phone, iPad, or computer. Guy Kittleson with American Farm Equipment installs deluxe grain dryers, and if needed, Guy can access your grain dryer remotely, saving you time and money. Call Guy Kittleson at American Farm Equipment today.
You might be surprised, but it's actually false that March is the big month for winter storms. Historically, in the Great Plains, from southern Canada right down through the Dakotas and through Iowa and Nebraska, January has had more of the great, terrible blizzards of all time, but it's also no secret that we do get some in March, and it's no secret that there has been a fairly big March storm in the area this weekend. Lingering winter weather in the wake of this weather system, and also some lingering cold. And another thing to talk about tonight is that we're getting another round of decent moisture in California. Not a drought buster, but something that will certainly bring some improvement. As this weather system moves out of the area this weekend, it will generate rain and some thunderstorm activity in the east, especially the southeast. By the time we get to the middle of the week, this thing will be moving out to sea. Another one building into the northern Rockies, not likely to move, though, into the northern plains. Jet stream configuration this week will be changing. It looks like we'll be looking at a dip or a trough in the eastern U.S. for a while. So no longer will storms be driven up into the northern plains. It should be fairly quiet week around here. And the west coast will be looking at getting some rainfall, perhaps as far south as Los Angeles, again by the time we get to the end of the week. The second week, now we're talking the middle part of March, troughiness in the east, troughiness in the west, which means the west coast and some of the western interior will have another round of wet weather, and there may be yet another snowstorm, one of those nor'easters perhaps for the northeastern states. The middle part of the country, not suggesting that March will be precipitation free. I just think that once we get past this weekend, a lot of the weather is going to settle down. Cold weather will be dropping into the Dakotas, Minnesota, maybe even eventually into Iowa. And by cold, we mean well below freezing. Some nights could even go below zero, but it's not going to be frigid weather. That's remaining up in the fairly high Arctic. There will be a round of pretty cool temperatures into the southeast, but not South Florida. But it'll get pretty cool in the southeast. It does that in March. Warmest weather will be Texas and the southwestern parts of the United States. Much of the west coast will be fairly chilly this week, at least at times, as rain systems pass through. For the second week, then, as we look to the middle part of March, cold weather will likely build back through the northern plains region. This is below freezing stuff. No sign of spring really for most of the Dakotas, Minnesota, the upper part of the Midwest, and there will continue to be surges through the east. Other parts of the country affecting agriculture, plentiful rains for Brazil, but Argentina continues largely drought areas except in the mountainous regions of the far south. And in Australia, the only stormy weather is in the far north and some rains along the coastal regions. Overall, Australia, typically late summer, hot and dry. As the big March storm leaves, we stay cold and California gets wet.
Stein Seed Company is home to one of the most prolific, highest-yielding corn and soybean breeding programs in the world. When it comes to research, yield is what matters most. With the largest private soybean breeding program in the U.S. and the industry's most aggressive corn research, Stein is in a class of its own when it comes to developing new, higher-performing seed. Choose genetics. Choose results. Give Shane Kylo a call at 701-866-9864 to learn what Stein Seed can do for your operation.
When the water's high and your yields are low, 'cause your fields have no place for water to flow, just one call takes care
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models, with over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Micro Essentials is a unique product in the sense where it's a homogenized product that has 4 nutrients in every single granule. What makes it different than other products that are out in the country? So it has 4 different nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, which is 2 forms of sulfur, and zinc in every granule. We're seeing multiple things. We have sulfate sulfur and elemental sulfur. The sulfate sulfur, we get the bulk of the use of it the first year. The elemental breaks down over time. I've had farmers come up to me and tell me that they not only see the benefit the first year in higher yield or higher quality, but they're seeing it in consecutive years. So it's a huge benefit for the grower to use it on a consecutive basis. Our overall goal is to increase our farmers' yields and help them produce a higher quality and higher yielding crop. It's giving them the opportunity to get more nutrients in one. It makes sense agronomically, it makes sense economically.
Premier Shortline USA is your dealer for Meridian storage and grain handling. 50 years ago, Meridian Manufacturing designed the first smooth wall hopper bin. This innovation set the standard for hopper bins across North America, completely self-cleaning with no obstructions. Smooth wall hopper bins have become the preferred choice for safe and efficient storage. For temporary grain storage to complete systems, contact Nate or Brent at Premier Shortline USA.
The Red River Valley is a key player in the nation's potato production. The International Crop Expo in Grand Forks attracts a number of top potato industry experts, and that was the case again this year. Our Jonathan Knutson was also there and has more on the immediate future for spuds.
The northern Red River Valley is one of the world's leading potato producers. It's the only part of the country that produces in volume for the chip, fresh, seed, and processed markets. The industry says it's been on the defensive too often in recent years.
And that's starting to change with the research and the nutrition information that we're getting out there. We can go after this and really explain not only is it okay to eat potatoes, but it's good for you. You should eat more potatoes.
Potatoes USA, the nation's potato marketing agency, has done a lot of consumer research in the past year. It's close to approving a marketing plan that would focus on the nutritional and performance properties of potatoes.
We all understand in the potato industry that potatoes are very healthy. They're a big part of our lives. It's the number one vegetable. It's one of the most valuable produce items that consumers can eat.
In the northern Red River Valley, trucking is a big issue for potatoes.
The biggest problem we have right now is finding transportation to move the fresh crop out of the valley.
Independent trucking is not a real great job right now, and the economy's better, so you can bang nails or you can do independent trucking, and people are banging nails more. So there's availability of drivers is a big deal.
The NAFTA renegotiations also are a big deal for potatoes.
We know that NAFTA is good for agriculture. So the status quo is our friend. So will the status quo be maintained?
We're working hard with the National Potato Council to open Mexico up. Right now there's a very restricted area that we can ship potatoes to. That would be a huge market for our growers.
Potatoes are a fascinating crop and food. There's always more to learn. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
There are about 2,500 family farms in the U.S. that grow at least 5 acres of potatoes. Coming up on AgweekTV.
It's not hard to be optimistic about agriculture when you're around the FFAers here at NDSU.
Hi, this is Troy Orr with Orr Auctioneers, inviting you to participate in our upcoming spring farm equipment consignment auction just south of Jamestown, North Dakota. If you have excess equipment or items of all types, this is your opportunity to turn them to cash. This large consignment auction always has an extremely large turnout of on-site buyers as well as hundreds of online bidders. Don't give away the equity in your items of value. Bring them to this professional auction March 23rd and experience the more for more difference. Call 701-952-3351 or check us out at bidor.com.
Sold! Advanced biofuel for America's diesel engines is clean burning and made from renewable sources like soybean oil. Biodiesel fuel works in any diesel engine, reducing emissions, helping us breathe cleaner air. Biodiesel adds value to North Dakota soybeans, creating jobs, improving the environment, increasing our energy independence. Biodiesel. It starts with soybeans. It's fueling America.
TrueFlex Land Rollers. TrueFlex Land Rollers are designed with today's farmer in mind. With a 42-inch roller diameter, features include a heavy-duty hinge and wing lock, true roller overlap, 3-inch replaceable roller shafts, hydraulic wing steer, and more. As manufacturers, we can custom build to any size. For questions, call us toll-free or check us out online. TrueFlex Land Rollers, a division of Sprayflex.
Get ready for the biological revolution. AgZyme by Ag Concepts is the leading biological soil enhancement product on the market today. AgZyme improves soil health and fertilizer efficiency for healthier crops and better yields.
Definitely is making a difference. I really feel that it gives me a bump in the soybeans and corn. I would say 55 up to 70 bushel soybeans. We've even had as high as 75. Probably the best bang for your buck.
Join the biological revolution with AgZyme by Ag Concepts.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
National FFA Week just wrapped up across the country, and while many people think that FFA ends after high school, that's not true. Many colleges offer FFA. In fact, you're not required to have been in high school FFA to join a collegiate chapter. The NDSU chapter has about 25 members. They recently hosted about 800 youth FFA students during the huge Little I event on campus. But it's a different focus in college FFA than in high school.
It's not as competitive. College, it's more professional development. So we bring in speakers just for professional development from the area industry. Also, we host events like this to kind of benefit the high school chapters.
National Ag Day is coming up on March 20th, and Ag Week is having a photo contest to celebrate. Send your best ag photos to news@agweek.com by March 13th. Then vote for your favorite photo on agweek.com from March 18th to the 24th. The winners will be announced in the March 26th edition of Ag Week magazine. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.